Book Chick again, and this is kind of another random video. This is going to be a trend, I guess. Yeah, just didn't know what to film in the middle of the month. So here we are. This is a library haul because I have plans for March, and I guess this is a sneak peek for those of you who like watch every video. For those of you who don't, well then you'll just be surprised. So next month I plan to start rereading my childhood favorites. I was inspired by Books and Lala. I will try to leave her channel linked down below or like as a card. But yeah, so I'm going to reread my childhood favorites. This isn't going to be exactly the way that she does it because she really does more vlogs. I'm not going to vlog. I don't have time for that yet. Maybe in the future. But I'm going to reread my childhood favorites, which are clearly not going to be her childhood favorites. She's like a couple years older than me, and like everyone doesn't like the same books. So these are going to be mine. So here we go. These are the ones that I got from the library. I do have a few that came from my mom's house that I will definitely read in March. So that we're going to start with kindergarten and work our way up. I figured that made sense. So the first book that I distinctly remember from my childhood as a favorite that I will be rereading in March that I got from the library is Cloudy with a Chance Meatballs. It doesn't have a cover. I thought it did. I thought it at least said on the front, but it does not. But this is a Cloudy with a Chance Meatballs. It's also really interesting because this is a book that talks. That's kind of fun. I might have to play with that because I'm curious. But yeah, I guess if you don't know this story, basically, I think a scientist starts doing some crazy experiments and trying to make different things rain from the sky, and it is different kinds of food that wind up raining from the sky. So I remember thinking that this book was like ridiculous, and yet I loved it. So gonna reread it. The next one, another crowd favorite, is If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. I have distinct memories of reading this myself or having this read to me. So this is following a little mouse and some humans give it a cookie, and what happens when you give a mouse a cookie. So I haven't read this in years, so that's all I can tell you about it. And, well, it's a kindergarten book, so if I tell you much more about it, it would spoil the story. So, there's that. This is by Laura Numeroff, and it's illustrated by Felicia Bond. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is by Judie Barret and Ron Barret. Sorry, I'll try to remember to say the author's names. The next one from my childhood rereads is Amelia, Bedelia. I don't know if this is one of the exact ones that we read when I was little, but it looks like a lot closer than some of the ones that I found on the library website. This is by Peggy Parish, and the pictures are by Fritz Siebel. So basically this is following a maid who has like no common sense. Like she takes everything very literally, and like the one that I remember that I was trying to find was she tries to make bread, and when it's like time to let the bread rise, she like ties it to a string and like hoists it to the ceiling because she thinks that's what you're supposed to do. But this one has a pie on it, so hi Albin. Hi. My doggo is joining us, and the kitty is on my lap, so she doesn't quite know what to do. This is Albin, the greyhound. All you can see is his head, but he's much bigger. But yes, so this is another one that I'll reread. And then the next two are like purely picked up on impulse. I have no self-control. So I guess the next one would be The Night Country by Melissa Albert. This is the sequel to The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert, which I listened to on audiobook last year and loved. So when I saw this on the shelf at the library, I had to pick it up. I'm already reading so many books. Ooh! The end papers are pretty. Look. Look at the end papers. Aren't those gorgeous? But yeah, I had to get it. So here we are. This one follows still Alice and but also Finch a little bit. He's still in the Hazelwood trying to like figure out things and I guess explore, and I think he got a girlfriend there, so he's like kind of wanting to come back but not really. But we're also following Alice, who is still living, I think, in New York. Yes, she's still living in New York, and she's in touch with a lot of the refugees from the Hazelwood, and it says, the synopsis says that like something has begun to go amiss, and bad things are happening to a lot of the refugees. So she is trying to figure out what that is and put a stop to it. So I can't wait to start it. The next one is The Rules for Vanishing by Katie Alice Marshall, and on the front it says, anyone can follow the road but few will leave it alive. So I picked this up because I saw Brittany the Bibliophile talking about this last year, but I think then it was like a new release, or she'd got it as an ARC. So I picked it up today because we're finally allowed to go back into my library and browse. We haven't been allowed to do that for a long time because of COVID. They've just been trying to keep everyone safe. So finally we're allowed to go back inside and browse. So I kind of went crazy today. And I picked up extra books that weren't on my holds. But here we are. So basically this follows a girl named Sarah, and her sister has disappeared a year ago, and only Sarah knows where she is, and a girl named, Becca must be her sister. So Becca went to find the ghost of Lucy Gallows, and she is trapped on her road. In the sleepy town of Briar Glen, Lucy's road is nothing more than a local lore, but Sarah knows it's real, and she's going to find it. So when Sarah and her skeptical friends meet in the forest to search for Becca, the mysterious road unfurls before them. All they have to do is walk down it, but the path Lucy is on is not of this world, and it has its own rules, and every mistake summons new horrors. So this sounds like kind of spooky. I'm excited for it. I don't know why, but like winter makes me think of like thrillers and kind of like spooky books and like fantasy books. So yeah, can't wait to start these. But that concludes this video. So I guess if you liked it, go ahead and hit like, and if you would subscribe, that would be awesome. Yeah, and I'll see you soon.